Question one. It said, which statement best defines productive efficiency? We have allocative efficiency and productive efficiency. And when we talk about productive efficiency, what does it imply?
Productive efficiency.
Yeah.
What that mean?
Yeah.
What this mean? I don't know.
That firms are able to produce a high level of output with a unit with a low cost of production. That is productive efficiency. That means you are able to produce high level of output at a reduced
Okay.
unit cost.
Okay.
That is productive efficiency. Allocative efficiency means you are able to produce a product and to maximize social welfare. That is allocative efficiency.
Okay.
So the answer is C.
Okay.
Go to question 2. It says medical researchers indicate that drinking too many sugary drinks is bad for health. Government intervention to impose a tax on the sale of sugary drinks might help solve which market failure? Negative externalities of consumption, yes. Negative externality of consumption, it should be yes. So A is not going to be an option because consumption of sugary drinks is a negative externality. Do you understand?
Yes.
So let's focus on BCD. Okay?
Okay.
Negative externalities of production. No, it can't be negative externalities of production because they are
We
producing.
have C and D.
So let's go, it does not count for production, it only counts for consumption.
Okay.
So let's focus now on C and D.
What about overconsumption of determined goods?
Overconsumption of demerit goods.
Yes. What
Yes,
about
yes, for consumption of demerit
what that mean?
demerit goods are goods that could cause harm that could cause harm to the health of people.
Okay, so the answer is C.
The answer is what? C.
C.
You're right. I think you get it now. So question 3. Question 3, please.
Yes, 1 minute. What a government uses a cost-benefit analysis approach to infrastructure project. It considering building a new railway to link a city center to its airport. It estimates the following: private cost, social cost, private benefits, external benefit. What should the government decide and why? Mr. What is the difference between external benefit and social benefit?
Social benefit is external benefit plus private benefits.
Okay. Do not. What's meaning exceed?
To be more.
I think the answer is A.
No.
Okay, 1 minute. We don't have the social benefit, mister.
The social benefit, which is external benefit plus private benefits.
So 1.2.3. Okay, D.
D, correct. Get it. So D. Question 3 is D. Go to question 4.
Okay. A consumer currently consumes 10 units of good X and 10 units of good Y at point Z on an indifferent curve. Consumer marginal utilities from consuming both good X and good Y are positive. Which combination of good X and good Y could be on the same indifference curve as point Z?
They say a consumer currently consumes 10 units of goods X, 10 units of goods Y at point Z on an indifferent curve. So what is the consumer marginal utility for consuming both goods and good Y? The consumer's marginal utility from consuming both good X and good Y are positive, okay? Which combination of good X and good Y could be on the same different curve at point Z?
I didn't get the question, Mister.
When you talk about marginal utility, it means
Yes.
the extra satisfaction derived from the consumption of extra units. Are you with
Okay.
me? So if the consumer has currently consumed good 10, 10 units of good X and 10 units of good Y at point Z on an indifferent cost. So they said the marginal utility from consuming both goods X and good Y are positive. What is the combination of good X and good Y could be on the same indifferent curve at point Z? That means if they are at the same level for the indifferent curves, it means you can consume more of good Y and consume less of good X. That will bring you to the indifferent curve.
Okay.
So it will be for good X minus 1 and good Y plus
A.
1.
It's A.
A, yeah. Question 4A. Go to question 5.
Question 5.
Yeah, so the diagram shows
The
two
diagram
different. What?
Okay, no.
So these are indifferent curves now. So they said the diagram
Okay.
shows two indifferent curves and two budget lines for good X and Y. The consumer's initial equilibrium is point R. This is the equilibrium. Okay, the equilibrium is at point R. So
Okay.
there is a shift in the budget line from Y1, X1 to Y2, X2. That means a rightward shift from Y1 to Y2. You get it?
Yes.
So, and the new equilibrium for the consumer is point S. So the new equilibrium for consumer is above. So the new equilibrium is above R.
Yes.
So what can definitely be concluded about good X? So what kind of good would this be? If the new equilibrium increases, move from R to S to S.
Inferior.
What?
It is inferior.
It's an inferior good, yes, you're right. Number 5, B. Number 6.
What are the correct formula for calculating average cost and average revenue?
So we said average cost is what? Average cost is total cost divided by output. Average revenue is total revenue divided by output. So which is the answer?
The output is Q.
Yeah.
Okay. C.
C, great.
Yes.
Question 7. What is always present in monopolistic competition and perfect competition in the long run? You know, in a monopolistic competition, they provide or produce almost the same product, but with advertisement. And in a perfect competition, it means they provide also the same product, they provide homogeneous products. So it's almost the same thing. It's almost, but not the same. Because in monopolistic, they need to do a lot of advertisements to show the difference between their products.
Yes.
So in the long run, the average revenue must equal to the average cost. So AR must equal to AC. Number 7 is A. Are you with me?
Yes, Mister.
You know, firms in the perfect competition and in the monopolistic competition, it's difficult for them to maximize profit based on the fact that they are selling to the same customers and they are selling almost the same product.
Yes.
So to maximize profit might be very difficult. So in the long run, in the short run, they might quickly make profit by increasing their price. But in the long run, they will think about their average revenue, at least they will think about sales maximization. And when you think about sales maximization, you're thinking about, it means your average revenue equals to your average cost. AR equals to AC.
So the answer is B.
No, A. Average revenue
Average
equals
fixed
to
cost.
average cost.
When
you talk about sales maximization, it must be AC equals to AR or AR equals to AC.
Okay.
A. Question 7. Question 8. A firm maximizes its profits by maximizing its total revenue. And remember, what is total revenue? Total revenue is price multiplied by quantity. So,
yes,
if you are able to maximize your total revenue, you should be able to maximize your profit. But what does this imply? Your marginal cost will be 0. You wouldn't have a marginal cost.
No.
When you talk about having a marginal cost,
yes,
it means you would have produced extra units. But if a firm is able to maximize its profit and at the same time maximize its total revenue, it means that the firm does not have a marginal cost.
So
because when you have a marginal cost, you would have a marginal revenue.
So marginal cost is 0.
Yeah, it's 0. You don't produce extra. That means all what you produce, you sold.
Yes, yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
All whatever you produce, you sold them. So that means you don't have a marginal cost. That is what marginal cost is 0 means.
Okay.
C. Question 9.
What will happen to an industry supply curve if firms leave the industry?
If firms leave the industry, output will fall, yes or no?
Yes.
So when output falls, what happens? The supply curve will shift leftward.
I think yes.
So what's the answer?
The answer is 1 minute. There will be an important movement. C.
No, the supply curve will shift. Movement is as a result of a change in price.
What about the supply?
Movement, when you talk about movement is about price. But here we're talking about a firm leaving the industry. So it's a shift. It's a shift in the supply.
To
Was
the
it
left.
a leftward shift or rightward shift? If output falls, if output reduces, what happens to the supply curve?
Shift to the left.
Yeah, it shifts to the left. Number 9, A. Question 10 now, please.
Which characteristic of a market is a reason for a firm to remain small?
The minimum efficiency scale is high. That is good. The potential of X inefficiency is high. That's fine. There's a significant economies of scale. That is good. There's a limited access to financial capital. Yeah. When the firm, one of the reasons why firms would remain small is because they don't have access to finance. So the answer is D, question 10. Is it clear?
Yes.
Question 11.
Question. What is an example of the principal agent problem?
It's always the same thing. The owners want to maximize profit, but the directors or the managers, they feel that is not what should happen right now. So that means they have different opinions, they have different They have different opinions to situations.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think the answer is?
D.
D. D, right?
Yes.
Great. Question 11D. Question 12. It said diagram shows
Diagram shows.
in imperfect competition. An imperfect competition is a perfect competition that is not perfect. They sell homogeneous products, but consumers lack the knowledge of the market, or they lack information from the market. The market is supposed to be perfect, but based on deficiencies in the market, for example, lack of information, high prices, these things makes the market to be imperfect.
Okay.
Barriers to entry, whereas there's supposed not to be barriers to entry. So these are imperfect competition. So now they said it changes its objective from profit maximization to revenue maximization. What effect will this have on firms' output? So when you change your objective from profit maximization to revenue maximization, what will happen? What will happen to your output? You are thinking of revenue maximization, not profit
Yes.
maximization. Will you increase your output or reduce your output?
Reduce.
When you are thinking of revenue, you want to make more revenue.
Yes.
Will you increase your output or reduce it?
Increase it.
You increase it, and that will be expansion from S to T.
Okay. So it's C.
Yeah. Question 13.
Which statement explain why a government decided to increase the highest rate of tax on personal income?
On personal income, that's income tax. So, what do you think is the answer? If government decide to increase the highest rate of tax on personal income,
Yes.
it is C.
What's the meaning of C?
Then they say it regards equity consideration as being more important than efficiency ones. It means government wants to ensure that everyone are equal in terms of government wants to redistribute income, and to redistribute income, it wants to start charging those that have high income.
Yes.
Do you understand? So when government charges
Yes.
those that have high income, that is more of a progressive tax.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is C. Question 14.
In certain countries, benefits are provided to individuals on low income. As their income rises, the benefits are reduced and income tax has to be paid. What can result from this?
Has to be paid. We did this question, I think, yesterday. They said the country, in certain countries, benefits are provided to individuals on low income. So individuals that are on low income, where are they?
Poverty.
They are between the poverty trap.
Yes.
So as their income rises, the benefits are reduced and income tax has to be paid. So now that their income is increasing, government is trying to do what? To raise their taxes too. So what can result from this?
What's the replacement ratio?
Government is trying to give benefits to those that have low income.
Done.
So In the course of doing that, as their income starts increasing,
They reduce the
as their
income
income
and increase
starts
tax.
increasing, government starts charging them more taxes. What will
Poverty trap.
happen? They are going back to what? They are going back to where they come from.
Poverty,
Yes or no?
poverty trap.
Yeah, poverty trap. 14B. Government is taking them away from poverty trap, and if government starts, because their income is increasing, based on what government is giving them, government starts charging taxes. They are going back to
Yes.
poverty.
An economy requires large inputs of state for its building program. After political pressure, the government imposes a minimum price of imported foreign steel. When would this intervention lead to economic inefficiency? When an encouraged domestic steel producer which
They said an economy requires large inputs of steel for its building programs. After political pressure, the government imposes a minimum price on imported foreign steel. That means government imposed minimum price. That means when government imposes minimum price, it means that you cannot sell above that price for
yes,
whatever steel you bring into this country. Do you understand? That is imported. So government
yes,
is trying to encourage local made steels. Are you with me?
yes.
So when would this intervention lead to economic inefficiency? When we talk about economic inefficiency, it means misallocation of resources. It means misallocation of
So
resources. Are you with me?
mm, yes,
So when would this intervention lead to economic inefficiency?
it's A.
So if the competition for steel, they say when it reduces competition for steel workers, then there's no job. That is misallocation of resources. Steel workers
Yes.
don't have job
Uh-huh.
because a lot of firms they start buying imported products because government has raised what minimum price. So instead of them to continue to produce locally, they start importing. That will reduce output locally. So a lot of steel workers will be out of job.
So
It's D.
yes, I said
Okay. Question 16.
what happened to economic rent and transfer earning if the supply of labor becomes perfectly inelastic?
When it is perfectly inelastic, and it is perfectly inelastic, around 0.1, 0.2, okay?
Okay.
When rent increases and transfer earnings decreases, the supply of labor becomes perfectly inelastic when the rent increases and what you are able to send home reduces as a result of that. If the supply of labor, do you understand what I'm saying here?
Yes.
What you earn, you pay your rent from what you earn, yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So if your rent increases, what will you be able
Your
to send home?
transfer
Whatever you have to
earning
send
decrease.
home will reduce, yes or
Earning
no?
decrease.
So it
C.
is C. Is it clear?
Yes.
Question 17.
Diagram shows the effect of the introduction of a minimum wage in the labor market. When would such a minimum wage be least beneficial to workers
who
who
are
are
currently
currently employed?
employed.
B.
B.
Yes.
Great. So we'll go on to question 18.
It is B.
Here is B. Question 18 now.
80.
They said, which
Which
statement about
statement?
economic growth is not correct? Long-term economic growth. Yeah, economic growth creates cost as well as benefit, yes. Long-term economic growth is measured by calculating the percentage increase in GDP for 1 year. No. Wait, let me see.
That's
Short-term economic growth can be represented by a shift from a point within the production possibility curve to point on the curve. That is actual growth. C, yes. Sustainable economic growth is growth that does not reduce the resources available to future generation. Yes. A is right.
the answer is
C is
B.
right. D is right.
B.
B is wrong here. Number 19.
Why is real GDP per head thought to be an imperfect measure of a welfare
Frequent
in
developed
developed
economies.
countries?
Frequent government manipulation and misuse of data? No. No account is taken of inflation. It's
No.
taken. The restricted scope of data, content, and coverage. Yeah. You might not have a
C.
lot of information because
Yes.
the GDP per head is your GDP divided by the population.
Oh, yes.
So, how do you get your population? You get to know the population through the census.
Huh?
So maybe your census, in the course of you counting people, for example, this country, when they do census, they might not be able to reach some places.
Yes.
And that could restrict the scope of data content and the coverage.
Yes.
So the answer is C, 19. Because whenever you have to calculate your GDP per capita or GDP per head, it has to be GDP divided by population. But when you don't have the figures of the population, then it's become an imperfect measure of welfare.
Okay.
Question 20.
What changes are most likely to reduce the level of economic inequality in an
Inequality.
economy?
What changes are most likely to reduce the level of income inequality? So how can income inequality reduce? You increase progressive tax and reduce indirect taxation. It's C. It's B, sorry.
C.
Because when you increase
B.
progressive tax, it's just like the other one we talked about, the income level. When you give higher taxes to those that have high income and lower taxes to those that have low income, you are trying to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor.
Yes, that's I understand the question, but the
Yeah. So the
opposite.
answer is what?
B.
Yeah, B. 21.
The table gives labor market statistics for Malaysia for January and March 2019. What is the size of Malaysia labor force?
The labor force is just the employed and the unemployed.
So 15.5.
Yeah, B.
Yes.
26, 22.
22. What would encourage industrial expansion in a region of high unemployment?
Yeah.
Our system.
In a region of high unemployment, that means there's no employment in that region.
Yes.
So government should The only thing that could happen there is government should end nationally negotiated wage rates. Because if the government can end nationally negotiated wage rates, it could allow firms to start thinking of setting up in that industry, in those areas. Because the
Okay.
wage rate will be less if government did not impose minimum wage on them.
Okay.
So they will think here they can give any salary or wages to workers. So that means that could motivate them to start setting up in such area, and that will reduce unemployment in that area.
Yes.
22D. 23.
Can I see 1 minute 22, Mr.?
22D.
Yes. We
Yeah,
want to
hold
see
on.
just the choices.
Yeah, 22 is D.
An end to nationally negotiate wage rate.
So
Okay,
if
Mr.
there's no negotiation for wage rates,
Yes.
firms will be relieved to open businesses in such area, because they will be the one to decide on what to give in terms of wages.
Okay.
23.
An island economy has a small manufacturing base, limit mineral resources, and limit agricultural land, which development is most likely to lead sustainable growth. Build and large fishing boats.